All right, welcome. This is DB talking now, DB talking birds, DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. I know that I've done quite a few live streams today, but we've had updates rolling in throughout the day, hot and heavy. So I'm gonna try and wrap these up with a bow, and hopefully nothing comes through by the end of the day, and we got to get some more going on. So just to start off with. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers ended up beating Aaron Rodgers and the Packers 31-26 in the NFC Championship game after Matt LaFleur decided not to go for it on fourth down and decided to take a field goal. When if they could have converted it on fourth down, it's possible that they get a touchdown there, get the 2-point conversion, tie it up at 31-31. But the Pack was hoping that they were going to be able to get the ball back, drive down the field, and try and get a touchdown anyway. So that's what they went ahead and do. Now the Eagles, as far as the coaching updates are concerned, the Eagles did hire Colts assistant Kevin Patullo to be the passing game coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that looks like it looks like he's going to be the one that's going to be taking the place of Press Taylor. And he's gonna have a heavy hand in the passing game, obviously, in those concepts. The one thing that I think is awesome and interesting in this regard when it comes to Kevin Patullo, he has a ton of experience and he has a really deep background in the RPO. And the reason why the Colts, Frank Reich and Nick Sirianni, why they loved Kevin Patullo is because he brings a lot of creative, new, modern day, innovative type of concepts to the passing game. So I think that is a absolutely phenomenal hire, and hopefully he can bring some of those new, modern day, in-depth, creative passing concepts back to Philadelphia to try and help Carson Wentz to see if we can get a glimmer of that 2017 Carson Wentz back in our building, and possibly even better, a better version of Carson Wentz moving forward. Just a couple other things on Kevin Patullo is, he has about 15 years of coaching experience. Include 10 of those 15 years have all been in the NFL. He just finished his third season with the Colts as the passing game specialist. So that's pretty good there. And then he also served as the wide receivers coach for Indianapolis 2 seasons prior to this 2020 season. So for 2018, 2019, he served as the wide receivers coach for them as well until they brought in Mike Rowe, and then they just kind of created that, they kind of created a separate role for him. So apparently they had heavy hopes for Kevin Patullo. They liked him a lot. They thought of him in high regard. So that's awesome. I mean, anytime, the one thing about Nick Sirianni and him being the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles now is this is kind of what I want to see. I want him to be able to bring some of those offensive assistants over to be assistants, offensive assistants here in Philadelphia, because the Colts have really turned around their offense over the last 3 years. So that's what I love to see. Also, in other news as well, the Eagles are expected to hire Auburn's defensive line coach, Tracy Rocker. I think that's a great hire. Auburn does have a really great defensive line. So he's gonna so I believe that he'll be able to bring some good things. So obviously that means that we are getting rid of Matt Burke, and he will no longer be with the team. And also other news as well, the Eagles did get rid of Justin Peele. Justin Peele is going to sign with the Atlanta Falcons, and he's going to accept the same position with the Falcons as well. So he is out. And just while we're on here and kind of while we're kind of wrapping everything up in a pretty bow, I will mention again that the Eagles did lose out on John Dorsey. They lost John Dorsey to the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions did bring on John Dorsey into their front office, and he will have a more prominent role there in Detroit and in their front office, which is something that we'll probably be talking about throughout the week, and I'll probably make another video about it either tomorrow or the next day, just because I do feel like that could possibly be a huge loss for us. Where we were excited about the possibility of what type of personnel decisions he was going to make with him on the staff, and him being a consultant for Howie Roseman. It looks like we're not going to be able to witness and experience those types of changes now moving forward, now that he's with the Detroit Lions. Also, in other words, and we'll also be talking about what Tracy Rocker coming to the Eagles to coach the defensive line and what that means going into the draft, because there are some pretty decent defensive line prospects coming out of Auburn this year's draft as well. So we'll touch on that. We'll touch on that over the next couple of days and over the course of the week as well. And hopefully we can get some good conversation going on there. And if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, please leave your comments in the comment box below, and like and subscribe. And I'll be sure to get a hold of those comments and discussions, and we can talk about it, and would love to see what you guys think. Also, rumor has it is, as you guys can see below, scrolling down there at the bottom of the screen, the Eagles are interviewing Chargers offensive coordinator Shane Steichen. So that is a possibility. That is a possibility of something happening. I don't know the likelihood of that happening quite yet. But it is a report out there. It seems like the Eagles do have some interviews set up today for that offensive coordinator position. Another one is the Denver Broncos running back coach as well for the offensive coordinator position. And we'll see how that all plays out. But now obviously with Deuce Staley requesting himself to be released from his contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, now they're going to have to replace the running backs coach. So we will see what kind of options we'll have to go with from there as well. And just some other news in here. The one interesting thing about Tracy Rocker is that he was on the staff in Tennessee for the Tennessee Titans in 2012 with our new defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon. So there is a little bit of familiarity there. That's probably what led to the decision to bring on Tracy Rocker as a defensive line coach. And I'm just getting some fan comments in here saying that Aaron Rodgers should demand a trade to Philadelphia after Matt LaFleur deciding to not go for it on fourth down. That's funny. I do want to talk about that real quick. Everybody's freaking out about Matt LaFleur's decision not to go for it. He's not going to get fired, and we don't know how Aaron Rodgers felt about that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, as of right now, how the staff is shaping up right now. Obviously, start off with we have head coach Nick Sirianni, and then now we have defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon, defensive line coach Tracy Rocker coming over from Auburn, and passing game coordinator Kevin Patullo, and an Indianapolis Colts assistant following Nick Sirianni over to Philadelphia. That is one thing I want to talk about. I do want to talk about Kevin Patullo a little bit. It is blatant that it is blatantly pointed out that he has a deep background in the RPO in the RPO concepts. So I think that is something worth talking about, and so we will. That is something that we did extraordinarily well in 2017 when Frank Reich was still the offense coordinator, and Carson Wentz was at the height of his trajectory, basically. And so with that said, bringing back the RPOs and making and bringing them back successfully, I think is going to bring our offense back up to snuff and possibly get it closer to where it was. The thing is that my belief is if these staffing hires, and by staffing hires I mean all of them, Nick Sirianni included, if these are successful, it is possible that the offense will look even better than what it looked like in 2017. Reason being is that what Frank Reich did when he left for Indianapolis, he took that 2017 offensive scheme and it has evolved. It has evolved. I was listening to Adam Kaplan and Jeff Mosher the other day talk about this. They really focus on getting the playmakers the ball within 5 to 7 yards. So that means Jalen Reagor, boom, getting him the ball in space, letting him get the yards after catch. The one thing that Adam Kaplan and Jeff Mosher really pointed out was they took a wide receiver, Nyheim Hines, and converted him into a running back, and now they love to use him in the slot. So for all of us who are screaming for Miles Sanders to be played in the slot a little bit more, like Andy Reid used Brian Westbrook or anything of that nature, we possibly will be able to get to see that under Nick Sirianni. So it's all really exciting. I think that the potential in the staffing hires are there, and I think that because the potential is there, I think it gives us reason to be excited. But again, as I've said before, and as I've said in previous streams, the biggest thing is going to be who is going to be the offense coordinator. I personally will tell you this: I don't want Denver's running back coach. I don't want him. It just doesn't seem. I'm not sure. They've had Philip Lindsay. I know that. I guess he's getting credited with the development of Philip Lindsay. But that's not something that I want. I want somebody with a little bit more experience, somebody a little bit more seasoned at the offense coordinator position. And even with Chargers offensive coordinator Shane Steichen, I'm a little hesitant on wanting him to be the offense coordinator as well, because the offense for the Chargers has not been what it's been in years past, and so can he bring some? Can Shane Steichen bring some spark and creativity to the Eagles offense? Would it mesh well with the other few guys that we just recently brought on? Who knows? But I do believe that Nick Sirianni clearly has a plan in place, and we'll just have to see how this unfolds. I mean, obviously, it's they're starting to get things done pretty quickly, and it's coming out rapid fire. I know that best because I was only expecting to do one video today, and it turned out into me making a third. So with that said, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills game is about to start. So I am rooting for Andy Reid to go back to the Super Bowl, and lo and behold, it's gonna be a phenomenal Super Bowl if it's Kansas City and if it's Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid back in the Super Bowl versus Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So we will just have to see. But this is DB talking now. DB talking Birds. DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. You guys have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. That is all I have for you as of this moment. But I will be back with you tomorrow. All right. Peace out. One love. Go Birds, baby.